What would you do if a cop asked to see your phone right now? If you unlock it for even a few seconds, you could hand over your whole life. Your texts, photos, bank apps, private notes, and location history can turn into evidence fast. Hit subscribe right now because what I'm about to show you could save your privacy, your money, and your freedom. Like this video too, because when your heart is racing in a real stop, you'll need these exact words in your head. Most people have no idea how fast a simple stop turns into a phone search. One polite question like, "Mind if I take a look?" can open the door to everything on your device. Let me show you exactly what to say before you panic and say the wrong thing. In this video, you're going to learn the first sentence that shuts down consent, the question that stops a fishing trip, the line that protects you if things get worse, and the mistake that makes officers think your phone is fair game. You're also going to learn why your phone is not just another object in your pocket. It's your messages, your photos, your passwords, your work, your family, and your entire routine. If you mess this up, you don't just lose a little privacy, you can lose leverage, money, and options before you ever talk to a lawyer. Here's the reality. Most drivers try to be nice, fast, and helpful. You think if you cooperate enough, the stop ends quicker. So when an officer says, "Can you unlock that for me?" you do it without thinking. You tell yourself you have nothing to hide. That's the trap. Once you consent, you make their job easier and your defense harder. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and the same pattern keeps showing up. Drivers talk too much. They explain too much. And they hand over devices that contain way more than they realize. Your phone can show who you know, where you went, what you searched, what you bought, and what you said at your worst moment. You do not want that decision made under pressure on the side of the road. Your goal is simple. Stay calm, stay respectful, and never volunteer access to your digital life. The first thing you do is refuse consent clearly and fast. Listen closely because this is critical. If an officer asks to see your phone, touch your screen, scroll your photos, or just check one thing, you say this: "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Word for word. Memorize that line. Say it in a calm voice. Say it once. If they keep pushing, say it again the same way. Do not argue. Do not explain your whole life story. Do not try to sound clever. Your power comes from being clear. This works because consent is the shortcut. If you hand over your phone or unlock it for them, you may be giving up one of your biggest protections. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. In Riley versus California, the court said police usually need a warrant before searching the digital contents of your phone, even after an arrest. That matters because your phone is not like a wallet or a cigarette pack. It carries your entire life inside it. But if you consent, you can erase that shield in seconds. Bad way. Most drivers say, "Sure, I've got nothing to hide." Then the officer starts scrolling, sees something unrelated, and the stop grows into a full investigation. Good way. Smart drivers say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." Then the officer has to make a harder legal choice instead of getting easy access through your fear. Watch what happens when you use that line. The whole tone changes. Now the officer knows you understand the difference between being polite and giving up your rights. Former police officers have confirmed this works because it removes the easy shortcut and forces the encounter back into legal lanes. And yes, you should still keep your hands visible and your body still. If they take the phone anyway, do not physically resist. Your job is not to win the argument on the roadside. Your job is to avoid helping them build the case. You can challenge illegal moves later. You cannot ungive consent once you hand it over. This is 100% legal. You're not being rude by refusing a search. You're using your rights. There's a huge difference. A calm refusal is safer than nervous talking. A short sentence is safer than a long explanation. And if the officer says, "Why not, if you've done nothing wrong," do not take the bait. Innocent people still have private things on their phones. Your spouse's messages, your kids' photos, your banking app, your medical notes, your client emails, your whole world. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it shows you did not voluntarily open the door. Have you ever felt pressured to unlock your phone just to make things easier? Tell me in the comments, because once you hear what the second line does, you'll see why so many stops drag on for no reason. The second thing you do is force the stop into a yes or no moment. Here's exactly what you say. "Am I being detained or am I free to leave?" Those exact words. Say them calmly. Say them once the basic stop business is done, or the moment the officer starts drifting away from the reason you were stopped. This line matters because a lot of phone requests happen after the ticket, after the warning, or after your documents are already checked. That is when officers often start fishing for more. Here's the trick they don't want you knowing. A traffic stop is supposed to be about the stop. Your license, your registration, your insurance, the warning or ticket. Then you leave. It is not supposed to turn into a free extra interview about your phone, your messages, or who texted you 5 minutes ago. In Rodriguez versus United States, the Supreme Court said, Police cannot stretch a stop longer than needed for the mission of that stop just to go investigate other stuff without a real legal reason. In plain English, they do not get unlimited time to keep you there while they poke around. Bad way. Most drivers say, "I guess so," and keep answering random questions. Then the stop gets longer, the pressure goes up, and the officer keeps looking for a reason to dig deeper. Good way. Smart drivers say, "Am I being detained," or "Am I free to leave?" Then the officer has to either let them go or clearly say why the detention is continuing. Let me show you exactly why this helps your phone situation. If you never ask that question, the stop can feel endless. You stay there, you get tired, you start talking. You start proving things nobody even asked you to prove. And once you get flustered, that phone in your pocket starts looking like a quick way to clear things up. That is how people talk themselves into unlocking their own device. But when you ask the detention question, you force structure back into the moment. You are not yelling. You are not challenging authority. You are asking for clarity. Watch what happens when you use it right. Either the officer says you are free to go, which ends the game, or the officer says you are detained, which means they now own that decision and the reason behind it. That matters later. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection when a stop starts drifting away from the original reason. It also protects you from the fake friendly phase where the stop sounds casual, but the risk gets bigger every second. This is 100% legal. You are allowed to ask if you are free to leave. You are allowed to stop volunteering your time. And if the officer says, "Just show me that text," or "Unlock it and we'll get you out of here," do not trade away your privacy for a promise. A roadside promise is not a legal protection. A clear question is, the third thing you do is shut your mouth before stress makes you say something that hurts you. Here's exactly what you say. "I choose to remain silent. I want a lawyer." Short, clean, powerful. You use that line the second the stop turns serious, the second you think you might be arrested, or the second the officer keeps pushing after you already refused consent. Your voice stays calm. Your hands stay visible. Your mouth stops moving after that line. Here's the reality. People think silence makes them look guilty, that fear destroys them. When you're scared, you explain too much. You guess. You joke. You fill silence with bad facts. Then you get boxed into your own words. If your phone is involved, that gets even worse. You might say the phone is yours, admit what app you used, explain who texted you, or describe where you were before anyone even proves anything. Now the officer has statements and a device. That is a terrible combo for you. Bad way. Most drivers say, "I can explain everything," and keep talking. Then their own words fill the gaps, and the phone becomes the proof that matches the story. Good way. Smart drivers say, "I choose to remain silent. I want a lawyer." Then questioning slows down, and the chance of self-destruction drops fast. This line works because once you clearly ask for a lawyer and invoke silence, it becomes much harder for police to keep getting useful answers from you. And useful answers are what often connect the phone to the accusation. Whose phone is it? Why did you delete that? Who were you meeting? Why is that contact saved under that name? You do not answer any of that. You do not talk your way out of digital evidence on the roadside. You protect your position and let your lawyer do the talking later. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it is simple and clean. No half measures. No maybe. No, I think I need a lawyer. You say it clearly, then you stop. If the officer keeps talking, that is on them. If they keep asking, you repeat the same line. If they act annoyed, you stay calm. Your job is not to make them happy. Your job is to stop making the case easier. And if you are thinking, but won't that make them mad? Maybe. But talking when you should be quiet has ruined far more lives than respectful silence ever did. Still here? Good. You're already ahead of most drivers. If you've made it this far, drop a comment saying "I'm still here." Because the next move is the one people forget before the stop even starts. The fourth thing you do is refuse to unlock the phone for any reason, even if the request sounds small. Here's exactly what you say. "I can provide my information another way, but I do not consent to unlocking my phone." Memorize that too. This matters because officers often do not start with, "Let me search your whole phone." They start small. "Just pull up your insurance card. Just show me that message. Just unlock it so I can verify your name." Small request, big risk, bad way. Most drivers say, "Okay, I'll just open it for a second." Then the phone lights up, notifications pop up, other screens become visible, and 1 second turns into a full look. Good way. Smart drivers say, "I can provide my information another way, but I do not consent to unlocking my phone." Then they avoid creating the very opening the officer was hoping for. Your phone is dangerous in these moments because once it is open, a lot can be seen without much effort. A banner notification, a recent app, a photo thumbnail, a call log. Even if the officer claims they only wanted one thing, you do not control what they notice next. And once they notice it, you cannot stuff that toothpaste back in the tube. That is why smart drivers keep paper copies of insurance and registration when possible. They keep their devices locked with a strong passcode. A passcode is better protection than easy biometrics. This does not mean you fight or hide the phone. It means you do not help unlock it. Riley protects your digital data in a big way in Carpenter Vet. United States showed privacy for location data. In plain English, courts understand phones reveal your movements and your life patterns. That is exactly why you do not casually open the door. Your privacy is not suspicious. Your privacy is yours. Now let's tie this together so you understand the bigger picture. Riley v. California means warrants for digital searches. Rodriguez v. United States means they cannot keep a traffic stop going longer than needed. Carpenter v. United States means your phone location history gets strong privacy protection too. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. The pattern is clear. You refuse consent because Riley matters. You ask if you are free to leave because Rodriguez matters. You stop talking because silence is a shield. You refuse to unlock for just one quick look because Carpenter reminds us data reveals way too much. The law is not magic. It works best when you do not accidentally waive the protection yourself. Now picture your own traffic stop. It is dark, you're tired, your phone is on the seat. The officer sees your phone and says, "Mind if I check something real quick?" You say, "Sure, go ahead." Then he asks you to unlock it. You do. A message pops up. He asks who sent it. You start explaining. 10 minutes becomes 20. Now the stop is not about the stop sign anymore. It is about your life inside that screen. Now the right way. You say, "Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone." He finishes the basic document check. You say, "Am I being detained or am I free to leave?" If things feel serious, you stop explaining and say, "I choose to remain silent. I want a lawyer." He asks you to unlock an app. You say, "I can provide my information another way, but I do not consent to unlocking my phone." Next video, I'm revealing what to say when cops claim they smell weed. Subscribe right now, smash the like button if this script just gave you words you can actually use, and drop a comment telling me which line you're going to memorize first. Stay safe, stay calm, and protect your phone like it protects your whole life.